Hello, I'm out here on my daily walk today and I thought I would take a quick stop to do some map reading revision. So what in particular would I like to cover? Well, I'd like to go through grid magnetic angle today. So depending on your map reading knowledge, you may or may not be aware that the grid north recorded on a map is different to the magnetic north that we read off the north needle on our magnetic compass. That change, there's a drift every year, so that is changing on an annual basis. So the difference of the offset between our grid bearings and our magnetic bearings will be different on an annual basis. It will change. So how do we work this out? In the marginal information of the map then, we have some technical information, north points. Diagrammatically, we have magnetic north, which is to the left or to the west of grid north. This information only, not terribly relevant to us. What is relevant are these two sentences here. The direction for the centre of the sheet, so that is the magnetic north, is estimated at 2 degrees and 19 minutes west of grid north for 2011. That was 9 years ago. We're now in 2020. The annual change then, so this is changing or drifting, is changing 10 minutes east on an annual basis. So we've got 9 years of change that we need to calculate for. So this is called our grid magnetic angle, or the GMA. So let's start out with what we know. So we know in 2011 it was 2 degrees and 19 minutes, and that was west of grid north. And I'm going to start just doing little direction arrows telling me that west is to the left and east is to the right. It makes things a little bit easier later on. We're now in 2020 and we know that we have 9 years difference. The change then in those 9 years, it has been drifting 10 minutes east every year. So east now is in that direction. 10 minutes times 9 years, it gives us 90 minutes east has been the change, and the change is in that direction. So we need to now apply that change to our magnetic variation for the 2011 map. So before we do that, we can't work with 90 minutes. We need to change that to degrees in minutes. There are 60 degrees in a minute, so this splits down to 1 degree and 30 minutes east. And I'm still going to put the east and the direction right just to keep me on the right track. So this is the change. We need to apply that to the variation of 2011 of the map we're using. So we start off with our 2 degrees and 19 minutes west. We then need to apply 1 degree and 30 minutes east to that. I find it easier if I do the minutes first before working, do the degrees first before going on to the minutes. So 2 degrees subtract 1 degree gives me 1 degree. Let's round this up to 20 minutes. 30 from 20 brings that down to 0 minutes, but I then need to carry over my 10 minutes. 10 minutes subtracted from 1 degree gives us 50 minutes. So our annual change is 50 minutes, and because we have gone that direction, we still haven't got quite down to 0, so that is in the west direction still. The compass does not have a sub-degree resolution, so I'm going to round this up quite neatly to 1 degree west. So our magnetic variation, or grid magnetic angle for this map on this date in 2020 is 1 degree west. This will change depending on the map that you're using and when it was produced and the year that you're currently working in. So how do we apply this magnetic variation? Well, in the UK at the moment, the magnetic variation is always to the west. So we can apply a simple rhyme. That is, grids to mag add, mag to grid, get rid. So what does this mean? Well, if I have a grid bearing that I've taken from the map and I want to set my compass to it so I can walk on it, that is grids to mag add. I will add my 1 degree of variation. If, however, I have plotted a magnetic bearing on my compass that I then want to plot on my map to work backwards and calculate my position, that is mag to grid, get rid. So I will subtract my 1 degree of variation. That's grid to mag add, mag to grid, get rid. Well, I hope you didn't find that too difficult. to follow. There'll be more information in the lesson below, and I'll also put in a little aid memoir that you can print out and keep in your map case. But anyway, until the next video, goodbye.